So Arizona are absolutely killing it. They're absolutely killing it right now. And they just beat UConn, which was a big one. And not only that, Koa Pete. Like, I don't know how Koa Pete is going to translate at the next level, purely because I just think with Koa Pete, I don't know what the ceiling for a non-shooting big is. That's not huge. Like, genuinely. Like, I don't understand how good he's going to be, but he's been so fucking good for Arizona. But the main thing that people still are talking about is Bryce James and whether or not he's going to redshirt or not. And the coach has come out and basically said, like, it's better maybe it's better to redshirt him than to play him a couple of minutes so he lose a year of college eligibility. Like, let's be real. It's been like 10 days. If you were going to redshirt Bryce James, you realistically should have redshirted him already. I think the reality is that Arizona don't want to have to do anything with Bryce James because they want to sell his jerseys. Like, there's no other logic to it. Because, let's be real, if you redshirt Bryce James, you might get 3 years out of Bryce James. You get this year out of him, you get the redshirt year, and you get the following year when he sits on the end of the bench again. And it's funny him talking about it like he's got untapped potential. He's a 6'4" non-athlete. Like, again, he might have potential. He might have potential to be a damn good player at the D3 level. And I mean, if you want to go get your education, just go play at Carnegie Mellon or something. If you want to go and get a good education, go play there. Go play at MIT. But yeah, it is an interesting thing. And that being said, like, I've fucking played with a 20-point per game scorer at Carnegie Mellon. This dude was 6'6" fucking sniper. 6'6" sniper who had guard skills, unbelievable post footwork. I'm like, I don't know if he could be a 20-point per game scorer at Carnegie Mellon. Like, but yeah, maybe he probably could. Bryce, would your Bryce James be better than Shane Rife? Not peak for peak, probably not. Probably not. But all everyone's talking about now when it comes to Bryce James is, is he redshirting? They're only just not playing him so that he can redshirt. Man, they're not playing him because he's not good enough. Like, you've now got articles being written. It's like when he's going to be able to make his debut. But it's like, it doesn't even seem like they're blowing out teams enough to give him a shot. And look, having Bryce James play 6 years in college, or 5 years, however long he ends up playing, it doesn't really it doesn't really matter. Because let's be real, like, he's gonna be as soon as the going to the league to play with LeBron hype is done, he turns into this end of the bench. Like, who was the other Jordan? One of Jordan's kids was good, and the other one of Jordan's kids kind of sucked and ended up, like, transferring to his school. Like, if a red shirt's not going to make Bryce James play for Arizona. For Arizona, a red shirt's not going to do that. Maybe he'll get on at the end of the game with the walk-ons. Like, maybe he'll do what that kid on Instagram's doing, the road to 1 point. Maybe he'd be able to do that. But, like, realistically, if you're going to transfer, go transfer to a D2 school. Like, we saw Bryce against a D2 school. He looked like one of the worst players on the floor. I'm not saying he's not a D2 level player. Because, again, like, there's tons of times D2 teams will play against D1 teams. I've seen it from scouting players where a D2 team will play a D1 team, but the best player on that D2 team will score like 25 points in that one game, but then you find out they transferred from a D1 school where they averaged 1 point per game. It's just such a tricky one because he's clearly just not good enough to be at Arizona, and we're still talking about all this. We're still having conversations about whether or not Bryce James, whether or not he's going to be able to play at the next level and stuff. And it's like, what is the next level for Bryce James? Genuinely. What is the quote-unquote next level for Bryce? Is the next level for him going and playing in the Spanish EBA? Because he could absolutely do that if he wanted to in some of the low-level EBA. Could he go play in the Irish? Could he go play D2 and then get to the Irish National League? Maybe. But yeah, it is an interesting thing anyway to see what goes on with Bryce. But like, I don't understand why people ever thought that Bryce James was the better of the two kids when he just wasn't. He's 2 inches taller. Like, I don't really know what being 2 inches taller has to do with most things. I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world, being 2 inches taller. But sure, look, it is what it is. And I was about to say I don't like talking about this, but at the end of the day, this is what I make videos based on what people want to see. And Bryce and Bronny talk is the most popular videos on these channels, especially when Wemby's injured and, you know, the whole Dallas Mavericks Nico Harrison shit isn't pulling in the views it once did. Like back when it happened, man, you could just say that Nico Harrison messed up. You could just title a video Nico Harrison messed up and you get 5,000 views. But yeah, look, it's going to be still an interesting thing to see what's going to happen with Bryce. Do you guys think he's going to redshirt? I think him redshirting just like kind of is just kicking the can down. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be good enough. And it's okay. And I know people are going to be like, oh, you're like being too harsh on him. But I'm like, I think it's okay. Being not being good enough to play at the NBA level is okay. It's fine. Like, not everyone's an NBA player. And that's okay. And I think we all need to just be fine with that. We all need to be fine that not every player that puts on a basketball jersey is an NBA player. Not every son of an NBA player is an NBA player. I think we got to be okay with that at the end of the day, because he's just not, for me, he's just not even close to being good enough. And I think it would be scary if he was on the floor. Like, as bad as Bronny was at USC, Bronny was still good enough to be on that roster. Like, as much as he wasn't like a major contributor, he was still okay. He was still an okay basketball player. Whereas Bryce is just not quite at that level. And look, go transfer, go play D2, go enjoy basketball, or if you want, go get a good degree. Your dad's LeBron James. You can afford whatever college you want. Whatever you are going to get the opportunity to fulfill any dream you want, Bryce. But unfortunately, if that dream is the NBA, you're like Bronny, you have to be at least Bronny level to get nepotism into the NBA. But unfortunately, Bryce James, in terms of basketball ability, might be closer to Julian Newman than Bronny. And I'm not saying he's Julian Newman bad. I'm just saying on a scale of Bronny being the highest and Julian Newman being the lowest, he's somewhere in the middle, but maybe closer to Julian Newman. But anyway, I'll see you guys.